very great month, very eventful, very lovely. And I hope that you were able to achieve everything you set your heart to this month. And you had a great time exploring the month and doing all that you intended to do. This is Adult Conversations, and this is where we get to share real life issues and matters relating to the heart. On Adult Conversations, you get to give advice by contributing to the subject matter without judging. Emphasis on without judging. And this happens every Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., because we are here to break the culture of silence. My name is Foluwa Kiremi. You're welcome this evening, as always. Just in case you want to share your story with the Adult Conversation family, you can send it to me on WhatsApp on 08155 917 917 08155 917 917. And we are live on YouTube. Yes, you can watch us live on YouTube at WFM 917. At WFM 917. The story tonight is the story of a young man called David. And I'm just going to read the story now so we can all hear what the story is about. The story says, my name is David. I am 32 years old. And ever since my wife and I welcomed our first child last year, December, I feel like I've slowly disappeared from her life. Everything now revolves around the baby. And while I understand that the baby needs her, I miss the woman that I married. Our conversations are only about bills or things that the baby needs. I try to spend time with her, but she would always say she's too tired. Sometimes I feel more like an ATM than a husband. I love my child, but I also miss being loved as a partner. Am I being selfish for wanting my wife to make time for our marriage? Or should I just accept that this is what parenthood looks like? I really need your advice. This is David's story this evening. A young dad, a new dad, who is just trying to figure out what's going on what's going on with parenting. Because since they gave birth to their child last year, December, he says that his wife has been completely different. Not because she intends to be so, but the demands of being a mother has been so overwhelming for her. So she barely even remembers that there's some quality time she needs to spend with her husband. And all they talk about when they even have time to talk is bills to pay, things to do for the baby, things to buy for the child. That's all they talk about. And he's tired because he missed his wife. He missed the time when it was just the two of them. It was just the two of them against the world, having fun, doing great things. He missed that time when it was just the two of them, having great conversations, having nice time together. And all he wants to know this evening is how to properly balance parenthood at this time of his life. What can he do to make his wife make time for the both of them? The mom is tired. She's breastfeeding, she's feeding, she's cleaning, she's cooking. She's doing so many things all at once. And many times she doesn't even really have time, whether my husband is there or my husband is not. Just give us money, let's go and be fine, right? And he's not happy about that. He's not happy about the fact that his wife spends more time with their baby than she does with him. He's not trying to be selfish, right? And that's why he was asking the question, am I being selfish for wanting my wife to make more time for our marriage? Or should I just accept that this is what parenthood is like? What advice would you give this evening to David? He's currently listening to the show and he would like to hear our thoughts and our contribution for him. The number to call to give David your advice is 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917 09155 917 917. David is listening to the show as we speak, and I would love to hear our advice for him. He's a 32-year-old new dad who says that since they gave birth to their child, his marriage has not been the same. His wife now spends more time with the baby, and even when they have time to talk, They are only talking about the child. They're only talking about maybe they need to buy a baby food rather. Maybe they need to do something for the child. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay. All right, we lost that call. Please don't want to call us back. David is listening to the show right now and he would love to hear from us. The number to call to give David your advice is 07000 917 917. What's the best way to manage being a dad, a new dad, with this, in a new marriage? Two people just got married. How can they balance the phase where they just gave birth to their child? Because of course the children comes with their own demands, whether you like it or not. Children comes with their own demands. They need attention, they need to be taken care of, they need to be fed, they need too many things. Hello, good evening. All right, so children come with responsibilities, and if a couple are not properly built to handle that, their marriage can crash. And this is what David is currently going through in his marriage. He's here because he needs help. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Yes, this is David. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, David. Good evening. Happy New Week. How's the weekend?
It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Please, I'm very interested because it's my namesake. So I feel that maybe she must understand this is not normal. So to say, okay, am I doing something wrong? If I'm not doing something wrong by being concerned, you getting me? So yes, maybe wherever you are not doing something wrong by being concerned. These are absurdity, and it can be addressed. The way to address it is to now sit down, just like we do timetable in school and we do roster in school. You should now sit down with her and help her job. We have this culture in Yoruba land that we say that when you marry a woman, there's continuum in training her. A woman is continually trained. So when the father is done with her, particularly mentioning father, because the training job is the father's work. So largely the father's work, it's both parents, but largely the father's work. The chunk of it, 80% of it is the father's work. But the mother is largely present. But the father can be away and be around. Largely it is the father's work that is the training job. And when you marry a woman, the job of training continues as a husband, as a spouse, the male spouse. Then when she has children, the job of training continues with her sons. Even a mother will have the sons teach or train their mother. If the woman continues to learn forever, we all continue to learn forever.
That's true. Yes.
One of the jobs you inherit as a husband. There are 7 things that will have inherited that a husband should do regularly with his wife. But this is one cardinal one out of the 7. And that means the assignment of training that woman. You need to sit down like a prepared timetable and roster in school. You will need to streamline the daily routine. You get me? And she has to agree with you. Is you do together. You harness. It's not that you begin to be authoritative about it. Because a lot of the fathers from where you marry, they do their thorough job. So you inherit that deficit.
That's true.
So that's why it's good when we are praying, when we have raised our children, where we pray that they enter into very good homes, where the husband will love them, that the wife will love them, and then like they say in Yoruba land. Because you can raise a well-trained child, and then that person can end up with somebody in campus and say, I fall in love with him or her. And you'll be wondering, this is not the kind of life that we raised you in. Why will you go with somebody who is wearing earring in both ears, dreadlock, and you I'm not being particular. I'm just using for instance when you don't like this.
Yes.
And you see their child go on the contrary, and then they begin to say, no, you bring shame to it because when that child was being raised, they were not consistently telling God, please don't let her go in this direction. You understand me? So people have perception about the kind of life they expect from their children. So you need to do this. You need to sit down with that, structure a routine, spend quality time, and it will go largely on social, secular, spiritual. There are times you do spiritual things together, like prayer, Bible study, meditation, go to church. You're a Christian, David, you go to church, you do all that structured. There's a time that you have midweek service, you do that. There's a time for social things. We're not going for things like this. Once I match your day and all that social things, you go out, see family, you see your side by side. And there are secular things, our work, our regular employee, our work, your own work, you structure those things. When you have agreed on these things, you see it will no longer be issues. But because this is possibly our first child, you will see that a lot of emerging decisions will come, and you need to work thoroughly on this. This is one of the assignments as your husband. So your wife is not a strange one. It's just that you need to captain her now. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was profound as always. Thank you. All right, that was David, and it just gave his advice to you, David. That was very profound. And, you know, he mentioned a lot of things. I'm going to go through them very soon. But for the sake of those who are just listening, who are just joining us, David is a 32-year-old man. He says that ever since his wife gave birth, they welcomed their first baby in December last year. And since then, you know, the wife has been so invested in raising the child, feeding the child, taking care of the child. She does a lot of things, and many times she's always tired. She doesn't even have time to spend time with David and all of that. And you know, he's quite concerned about the fact that they no longer act like a couple. They no longer have time to talk about each other. Anytime they have a great number of time to talk, it's always about the baby, the food feeding, you know, just the welfare of the child in general. And David is quite unhappy about this because this is not the kind of marriage he envisioned himself being in. And now he's asking for help on how to bridge the gap that's currently between himself and his wife. He's asking, am I being selfish for wanting my wife to make time for our marriage? Or should I just accept that this is what parenthood looks like? I really need your advice. This is David's story this evening, and he would like to hear our advice for him. The number to call to give David your advice is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, woman radio.
Good evening. You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes. My name is Chooks. Chooks is calling you from Oba.
Good evening, Chooks. So good to have you on the show. You're welcome. How was your day today?
It's fine. I love your
Awesome.
program, and I want to contribute quickly to what David is passing through. I want to start by letting him know
yes. Okay, looks like oh my God, we lost a call from Chooks. Oh my God. Please do well to call us back. The phone lines are still open. The number is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. I would still love to hear from you, Chooks. 07000 917 917. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, we lost the call again. David is a 32-year-old man. He says himself and his wife, they recently gave birth to their first child last year. Hello, good evening.
Calling back.
Okay, you're welcome back.
Yes, I was trying to let him know that he should prepare to receive more of such behavior from her wife, because babies are coming in. If the sex of the child she has right now, or they have right now, is female, As
Yes.
the child is growing up, the woman will begin to make more of her time for the girl. So I don't want to say that this complaint is coming too fast or too quickly. We should just prepare and be ready for more of such behaviors from the wife. Women these days, I'm beginning to see, I'm seeing this play out from many young wives that when they begin to nurse children up, they begin to give dash time away, shifting more to their children other than they used to have. So he should just be steadfast. He should prepare. He shouldn't see this kind of shift from the wife's angle as something or something too special. Let him continue to profess the love he originally have for his wife.
Yes.
And let him continue to commit his family to God. Let him remember that first of all, he is one that put up the family with the help of God.
Yes.
So he shouldn't be seeing it from the angle of blame to the wife. He shouldn't blame the wife at all for this. It's almost natural. The wife may not even be able to comprehend how the magnitude of
feeling,
even to the husband right now. But most especially, he should prepare for more of this. Anything he can lay his hand on or stretch his brain to be able to catch as an idea that will give him an opportunity to hear this as a cushioning effect. He should start looking along that line. That is my advice for Mr. David right now. I don't blame him. He complained to public radio.
Thank you, Chooks. Thank you so much for your advice to David. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello? Okay, looks like we lost the call. Okay, looks like we lost the call right there. The number is still 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917. David is a 32-year-old man. Hello, good evening. Hello? Okay, we lost the call again. All right, he's a 32-year-old man who says his wife recently gave birth to their baby last year in December. And since then till now, it has been a roller coaster of emotions and management for the both of them. Because of the baby, they haven't had time to spend quality time together. They don't talk like they used to. They don't do things like they used to because his wife pays. Okay, hello, good evening. Okay, we lost the call. So the wife now pays more attention to the baby than she does to David. And many times when they have conversations, it's majorly on how they want to buy something for the baby, food and all of that. And he says, I feel for... Hello, good evening.
Hello? Yeah, good evening. This is Abubakar calling.
Good evening, Abubakar. You're welcome.
I'm calling you. Yeah.
You're welcome, Abubakar. Good evening.
I sincerely speaking, I will not blame David because, this thing is bound to happen. But before getting married, at least the couple should learn some few things about marriage. You understand? So if you could remember in our olden days, when a newly wife born, her mother will come and spend some days to train her on how to balance the equation, how to take care of the baby and how to take care of the husband as well. You understand? This is the responsibility of parents. Yeah, they are the ones that are supposed to lay down rules for the new wife to follow. You understand? So that the right of the husband will not be infringed. You understand? So that the wife will take care of the baby and the husband as well. So marriage, before getting to marriage, you need to marriage is a different institution. You understand? Before getting to talking marriage, you need to learn so many things about marriage. You understand? These are some things that the wife supposed to know, because the husband she does not supposed to infringe on his rights. This is his right. You understand? So we know it is very important, and the husband too has a right over the wife. You understand? She's supposed to be submissive. She's supposed to, at least if you want attention, she's supposed to give him attention. You understand?
Yes.
So couples should get married. They're supposed to know more about marital affairs before getting to marriage. Like this one now, I can actually blame the wife because she doesn't have adequate knowledge on matrimonial issues. You understand? So I think David should at least exercise some patience and give her some time. You understand? Yeah, give her some time, but he should be advising her as well so that she will give him his own rights. You understand? Because if she deprives him his right, that's attention, he might look elsewhere. You understand? So he will even go further to maybe communication outside. You understand? So there are three things the couple supposed to learn before getting to marriage. Thank you.
Marriage. Thank you, Abubakar. Thank you so much for that advice. All right. That was Abubakar, and he just gave a very, very important advice to you, David, and also to those who are currently not married and, you're looking forward to your wedding very soon. This is something that's very, very important. Okay. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening,
Good evening, Sunday. How are you today?
I'm fine. And you?
You're welcome. I'm doing well. How was your weekend?
Oh, great. And yours too?
It was great.
Yeah. Okay. Greetings to every listener across the world. Well, I want to say this to David. And the last speaker spoke well, but I just want to add to what he has said. He spoke well, but the truth is that you cannot blame the wife. You cannot blame the wife. You cannot blame the husband. That's David and the wife now. That's again we are going to blame David and the wife, and I'll reach forth in my own way. But the last week I said we blame the wife. So now I'm saying let's blame David. So David is listening. These are what marriage is not for babes, it's not for children. We have always been saying this thing. So before you get into it, there are things to learn. There are questions to ask during the talking and dating time. So David, you did not do these things with your wife. It's not about I marry you in the house, we have sex, and that's it. You did not think about when children come. How are we going to manage when children come? It's not everybody that has the luck that when you have to give birth, that your father, your mother-in-law, or your whichever in-law, whether the mother of the husband or the mother of the wife will be with you, or one sister or junior or one relative or one housemate. It's not everybody that has that luck. So it is only you. That's why the Bible says a man shall leave his father and his mother, and he and the wife shall be one. They shall be one. You already become one. And say the both of them are naked, and they were not ashamed. So you now become one. You now become a family. So you have nothing to do with your father and mother. It is not your mother or your father's responsibility to come and be taking care of your child. That is why we are telling the younger ones, all those younger ones, that do not sleep with a woman. Do not sleep with a man. This is the consequence. How can a 16-year-old girl, 16-year-old boy now take care of baby? The 20 years, the 30 years old boy can behave like a 16 years because inexperience. That is what is doing David and the wife now. These are the things they ought to have managed before getting married.
For
Getting married.
marriage.
And
Yeah.
also for counsel and consultant. So now you are now in it. You have to look for a way of how to. So now we are looking for solution. The solution is now both of you should sit down and talk to your sister. And if she's not listening to you, look for a mature person that has experience, a friend or a friend, a friend or her friend, your friend that both of you listen to. Do not teach those who have been there. Do not teach her how to do it, how to handle that aspect of the baby and the husband. The husband is how to handle the wife that just delivered, the wife that is pregnant. You understand? Because that because I don't let it talk much. Like those who are inexperienced, no, even when you're pregnant, there's a way you handle your wife. If you don't know it, you always ignore her. You understand? Even at that, most people do not know that when their wife is pregnant, that time they even need more sex. Don't know it. So if you don't end up, you will find yourself in this situation. So David, now you will now go back with a loving heart, not quarrel, not by force. So women will attach to their baby more than you. But if you want to have experience, that will now know my husband is number one. But at that first 6 months, 1 year, you have to separate for a while, at least maybe for 6 months or for 8 months. No sex, you just know that one. So it depends on your agreement. It depends on your agreement. At least some is 3 months, some is 4 months, some is 6 months. So then, if your wife is wise, she will always be consoling you. My husband, I don't be annoyed, so you have to wait for a while. You understand? I know she's not saying it, so that's your grievance. But my brother, you have to know that 3 months, 6 months, if possible, 8 years. You understand? More than 6 months to let her get the point. So you do discuss those ones before you get. So that is the problem. So those who are listening now, I think should learn that in everything, discuss it. If you love sex too much, discuss it before you get into it. If you are every day, 3 times a day, every day, at your work, when you get to tell your husband the way it is, so that it's not when you not get it, you not begin to see the other sex. It's not done. So God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunday. Thank you so much. All right, so that was Sunday, and he just gave his advice to you, David, which was very, very important as well. It buttressed to Abubakar's advice for you, and I'm going to go through them very, very soon. The number to call to give David your advice is still 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, looks like we lost the call right there. David is a 32-year-old man. He says since himself and his wife gave birth to their baby in last year, December, there have been some kind of distance between the both of them. They don't spend time like they used to together. They don't have conversations that doesn't revolve around the baby and money spending. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right, looks like we lost the call. All right, we lost a call already. 07000 917 917. So they've had some distance between them. They don't talk like they used to. The conversations are no longer the same since the baby came around. The attention focus has now gone completely to the baby and how the baby will feed and survive. And because of that, David and his wife, they don't have much time to have conversations. And anytime David, reaches out to his wife, let's talk, let's spend time together, she would always tell him that she's tired. She's tired of so many things that, she just doesn't have time for that. And David wants them to spend time together. He misses the time when it was just the both of them having fun together, having great times. He misses that time. in-laws, and he wants to know what to do to manage this situation, just so he doesn't lose his marriage because he has a child. A child should be a source of joy, not something to separate the parents. And he just wants to know how to properly manage this situation in a way that himself and his wife would not have to end up getting a divorce. David is listening right now, and he would like to hear our advice. The number is 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917 09155 917 917 to give your advice to David this evening. This is Women Radio 91.7. We've gotten calls from Abubakar, from David, from Chooks, and Sunday, all giving great advice to you this evening. I'm going to go over them so you can, just hear again everything they've said, and also read some messages we have for you on WhatsApp. I'll be right back shortly to take more advice for David. This is Women Radio 91.7, and you are listening to Adult Conversations.
Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
My Nigeria, your Nigeria, our Nigeria. Together, we rise as one nation, one people for a brighter tomorrow. This message is brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7 FM.
Love has many languages. Some speak it out loud. Some speak it quietly. When you truly love yourself or someone, you speak it with a big breakfast. That creamy, nourishing breakfast made with pig milk. It contains vitamins, proteins, and calcium to help keep you fit and ready for the day. Because Peak Breakfast is Peak Love. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Ìlera àwọn ìyá ṣe pàtàkì nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ìyá ṣì ń dojúkọ ewu nígbà ìbímọ ní àwọn àwùjọ wa. Kò sì yẹ kí ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìdí nìyẹn tí Women Advocate Research and Documentation Center Ward C nípasẹ̀ iṣẹ́ Transform Project fi mú ìjíròrò yìí wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn. Èyí ni Town Hall Meeting. Pẹpẹ àlàyé kan níbi tí àwọn ìyá ti ń sọ ìrírí wọn. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìlera sì ń sọ ohun tí wọ́n ń rí lójoojúmọ́ níbi iṣẹ́ tí àwọn aṣáájú àti àwọn olùṣètò ìlànà ìjọba náà yóò sì dáhùn tààrà sí àwọn àníyàn àwọn ènìyàn. Kò sí ìdènà, kò sí ìdákẹ́jẹ́, ìjíròrò títọ́, ojúṣe àti ìgbésẹ̀ nìkan. Nítorí pé nígbà tí àwọn àwùjọ àti àwọn adarí bá ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀, a lè mú ìtọ́jú ìlera àwọn ìyá lóyún dára sí i, kí a sì dènà ikú tí a lè yàgò fún. Darapọ̀ mọ́ Ward C ní Town Hall Meeting yìí kí o sì jẹ́ apá kan nínú ìjíròrò tó mú ìyípadà gidi wá sí ìlera àwọn ìyá. Kò yẹ kí obìnrin kankan kú nígbà tó ń bímọ.
You define correct home product wey strong, get guarantee, e fine and e no too cost. Na Eleganza Industrial City Limited dey put you first. We get plastic chair for adult and pikin, party table and school table, disposable plates and cup plus reusable plastics. We get food warmer, cooler box, dustbin for different size, baby pamper, sanitary pad for ladies, travel bag for all size, hair thread and plenty more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited don package you well with products wey fine, unique and different shape and size. Abeg waka come our place for kilometer 68 Lekki Epe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeju Lekki, Lagos. You fit call us for 0818 019 9999 or 0909 147 3665 or send us email for eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com, info@eleganzaindustrialgroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. Check our website for www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City, the name na our guarantee.
Shin ko kun san zama memba na gidan rediyon mata wato Women Radio wata dama ce da za ta haɗa ku mata da wasu ɗaiɗaikun 'yan uwa mata da suka ƙware suka kuma goge wurin kafa sabon kasuwanci, siye da sayarwa, noma, kula da gida, sha'anin karatu da ƙwararrun ma'aikata daga dukkanin jihohi 36 da ke faɗin ƙasar nan domin samun horaswa da kuma 'yar uwa a matsayin ki na memba ta wannan gidan rediyon zaki mori damar tallata hajar kyauta da kuma samun kwasar garaɓasar gasa iri-iri. Maza ku garzaya ku nemo ku ku kuma sauke Women Radio app a wayoyin sadarwar ku domin sauraron shirye-shirye da aka tanada a domin ku. Ku yi rijista kyauta akan manhajar wannan rediyon akan wfm917.com tare da tabbatar da cewa kun bibiye shafin Women Radio na Facebook. Women Radio na tare da haɗin gwiwar ma'aikatu irin na MacArthur Foundation da kuma Nigeria Media Innovation Program.
Are you looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience at an affordable rate here on Women Radio 91.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 0905 555 8998, 0806 009 2137, or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
Launch vibes. Every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That's Launch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
After your you know I'm just that guy. No, the big
You think you know Nigeria's biggest Get in the ring on the Big Chin Show next weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFM 91.7.
Sell your market on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Are you a member of our Women Radio Network? Are you a trader? Do you own a business? Do you want to increase your sales? I have good news for you. To sell your market free at no charge every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Call 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917. 0800 1235 917. Sell your market and connect with customers far and wide for free. This is only for Women Radio Network members. Follow us on social media, Facebook, X, and YouTube at WFM 917.
Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
Good evening. You're welcome back. This is still WFM 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And today on Adult Conversations, we're still giving our advice to a man called David. David reached out earlier and he mentioned that certain things are going on in his marriage that he is not so happy about. And that's why he's here for advice, to hear from people who have experienced this in their marriages as well, people who have gone ahead of him and have been able to navigate this situation better, to show him how it is done and how to make everything go right. For the sake of those who are just joining us, I'll read a story once again. The story says, my name is David. I am 32 years old. And ever since my wife and I welcomed our first child last December, I feel like I have slowly disappeared from her life. Everything now revolves around the baby. And while I understand the baby needs her, I miss the woman I married. Our conversations are only about bills and things the baby needs. I try to spend time with her, but she would always tell me she's tired. Sometimes I feel more like an ATM than a husband. I love my child, but I also miss being loved as a partner. Am I being selfish for wanting my wife to make time for our marriage? Or should I just accept this is what parenthood look like? I really need your advice. This is David's story this evening. He's still listening and he would love to hear from us. This is just a young father, a new dad who's trying to navigate fatherhood, who's trying to navigate how to spend quality time with his wife, build a solid relationship with his wife while they cater for their baby. Hello, good evening.
Yes, it's David calling back.
You're welcome back, David.
Hello, yes, so I want to be quick about
I can hear you.
7.
All right.
Yes, I want to be very quick about this. Am I clear, Ron? I'm clear.
You are, yes. Yes.
Yes. So I want to mention the other 6 cardinals. I said there are 7 vital areas of nurturing a wife. This may be helpful to David. So I mentioned training already, and because of time, I just stopped there. So I will just run through the other 6. Training, which really means that starting from 1 now. Training, which really means you have to spend time training a woman. A woman needs to be pruned, she needs to be trained, she needs to be worked on, regardless of how much finance is gotten from the house from where she comes. So you will need to do that. Yes. It's the job of a man. The second thing is outing and relating. Outing and relating. Okay. The third one is visiting. I will exchange of them, but I'm just going to visiting. The fourth one is cooking.
Okay.
Yes. If you don't know how to cook as a man too, I believe you are not a man, a well-rounded man. Then 5 is intimating. What was intimacy? Number 6 is communicating, and number 7 is spending. So I quickly run through them. Spending 1, outing and relating 2, visiting 3, cooking 4, intimating 5, communicating 6, and spending 7. So let me quickly go to number 2. Let me just summarize each of them. Outing and relating, you let your wife know that it is an essential aspect of marriage. And there's a way to conduct your outing. There's a decorum. You see a lot of men, even if you are an experienced person, you see the wife in front and the husband at the back, and they are going to church. So it's like it is. They are pulling a cart behind the horse. Meanwhile, you should be side by side. So by mere observing both of you on the road, people who are more experienced will know the distance you have in your relating. And so there's also a woman who can get outside there, and the way she relates in your her in-laws' place, there are things she should not get involved in. She can get involved in it, and it can cause trouble. The man should know this.
Yes.
So you may have a woman who is a talkative. She gets there and she says more than necessary when there discuss family issues. When you do outings like parties, like invitations that you have for occasions, you go for ceremonies, PT and all that. That's different from number 3 is visiting. This is like you deliberately map out that you go to visit your in-laws side. So there's a way to do it. You don't go empty-handed when you are doing that kind of visiting. This one is not outing. This one is deliberate intention to visit. I want you to go and let us see my mother. Maybe the man is saying that, okay, next 2 weeks we'll go to see your own mother. Then you don't go empty-handed. There's a culture about that visiting. You need to train that woman about this. You need to build that culture around that. Then number 4, cooking. A lot of men don't know how to cook, but it is bad. So even a man should be able to talk to his wife on that. Are you getting me? And then begin to say, this is the kind of food we eat in your, maybe you are from the kind of people who are Ekiti, Ondo, and all that stuff. You need to carry that. This is the kind of food that will applicate. You know, personally, I'm not Igbo, I'm Yoruba, but I like a lot of Igbo food. So the woman who is mine must know that. And then you should be able to let that woman know that. So sometimes you need to take the culinary test or training or even exposure and let that person know it. You see, going out to visit fast food and eat there, you ask the question, in 10 years' time, in 20 years time, 30 years time, when I have gray hair, will you still take me out? So you must learn to cook a lot at home and help that woman around that. Then intimacy,
yes.
You talk about sex. You have different libidos. You must harmonize. You let them know during pregnancy, this is not allowed. During pregnancy, this is going to be more or less, and this is how it is. And you may need a doctor around that, especially when you are now harmonizing your libido. This is very necessary. This is adult talk. Then number 6, communicating. Yes. I don't know if you know, a lot of women talk a lot and they do more of gossip.
Yes,
so you need to call your man in that. There are certain things you don't get involved in the yard. There are certain things you don't get involved in the neighborhood. There are things not to talk about. There are things you better silence. You don't relate with some people. There are some people you just break and that's all. There are some people you just have to talk and take in and all that. Then the last one is spending. Your spending culture. So these are a lineup of 7 things that are adding out that a man should learn to work with his wife on. And if you don't know it as a man, how would you help that wife? You need to do more reading and work around families that have excelled. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's how, thank you. All right, that was David, and he just gave his advice to you, David, this evening. And I think this is going to wrap up the conversation this evening. The first thing he mentioned was training, outing and relating, visiting, cooking, intimating, communicating, and spending. And you need to do all of this to be an all-rounded husband. And I hope you took note of all of those things, David. And, we also got advice from Abubakar, David, Chooks, and Sunday, and every single thing everyone mentioned were very, very profound. And I'm going to add to it that I believe marriage is about compromise. Sometimes you need to compromise on how you feel to make your partner happy. Sometimes your partner will do the same for you. So try to see how she feels. Genuinely, she might actually be tired. Sincerely, it might not even be that she's trying to pretend or she's trying to be unnecessarily overwhelmed. She might actually be genuinely tired. So find some of the things that you can do to lift some burdens of her and see how the both of you can compromise. And she also has to come to a point where even when she's tired, she should be willing to talk to you. It might not be every day, it might not be all the time, but sometimes she would need to also move out of the tired zone and just try to talk to you and just try to build that bond that you both have shared before now. And just like Abubakar mentioned, before you get married, get training. Before you give birth, get training. Before you get pregnant, get training. Because every stage of marriage comes with its own responsibilities, comes with its own struggles. And if you're not fully aware of these things, it will be hard for you to manage those situations properly. And although, yes, marriage is for continuous learning, but you need to learn. And, Sunday called earlier and also mentioned that you need to have a conversation with her. I know you've spoken to her many times and she will tell you she's tired, but have a conversation with her like a husband, a heart-to-heart talk, and let her know that your marriage is at risk of breaking if this goes on like that. And if she doesn't listen, if there are people you can talk to them, just like Sunday has mentioned. And Chooks also advised that this is her trying to navigate a new season. She's also trying to navigate a new phase, a new season as a mom. So you might probably start to expect some kind of attitudes and more behaviors like this because she's just trying to navigate that part of life. But the most important thing is that the both of you should be willing to learn together and grow together. Your marriage should not suffer because you have a child. Children are blessings. Children should be blessings that should not come in to destroy your marriage. So the ball is in your court. It's the both of you need to work together as a team to build your marriage together. That's the most important thing. We have one advice here for you on WhatsApp. And this one says, David, you're not being selfish at all. A lot of new parents go through this, especially in the first year. Your wife is probably exhausted physically and emotionally. Instead of focusing on what you are missing, try asking how you can lighten her load. When she feels supported, she would likely have more emotional space for your marriage. And don't keep those feelings bottled up. Your marriage existed before the baby. It still needs attention. Pick a calm moment and talk to your wife, except pick a calm moment and tell your wife, especially how you feel, not by complaining, but by saying you miss her. Sometimes your partner do not realize you're hurting because they are overwhelmed themselves. The two of you are on the same team. Exactly. The both of you are team members. That's from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. The both of you are team members and you should work together as a team. Thank you so much, every single person who called in this evening to give their advice. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Chooks. Thank you so much, Abubakar. And thank you, Sunday, for calling this evening to be a part of the show. Join me tomorrow by 8 p.m. till 9 on WFM 91.7 for another time giving advice to another person in need. And just in case you would like to send your story to the Adult Conversation family, you can send it to me on WhatsApp on 08155 917 917 08155 917 917. Till then, my name is Finfolua Akiremi. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for always tuning in to WFM 91.7. Good night.